Following a transporter accident, our radio crew have been sent backwards to a universe, a parallel dimension where everything is the same, but backwards. Palantir can be seen in the corner, stuffing his face with McFargoids and drawing apostrophes on signs, all in the wrong places. Flossy is ignoring the pen and is happily gunning down anyone who gets in range. And she's got an evil little grin on her face as she does it. A 6'5" Mia Harkness, the insult officer, strides like a colossus through a throng of pygmies. Amelia Hawke, blonde pigtails a twirl, skips round the studio in a lovely pink gingham dress, reading this week's Banter. And for once, that's not a misprint. And Commander Chicks is looking unkempt, shabby, and shambling in one corner, muttering into his can of special brew. A small, quiet, you might even say self-effacing character, shyly hides behind his script. But after a huge amount of encouragement, reluctantly speaks the phrase.
Hang on. We don't even have a transporter. What's all this crap then?
Well, I'm really sorry, but I had some nightmares over Halloween, and my therapist suggested it would help if I could get everyone to act it out. Can I get it out of my system, as it were?
I can never work out if I'm Wilma or Amelia, but I know that neither of us like that dress. Ah, that's better.
You know that I use stage makeup for the stubble, and it's actually a 25-year-old Scotch in this can, don't you?
That was strangely satisfying. You never know, I might need to give this new toy a test run.
Right, quick! Distract her with something shiny!
Galaxy disturbed by slight.
Rich people just want some space for themselves.
Fleet Carrier Facility Fandango.
Pod Palaver preempts preventative precautions.
This evening's report is brought to you by the number 21 and the colour red.
Atrus 5060 coughs up the latest news on the Thargoids.
Tepid, trepidation.
Community invents. Community presents. We begin tonight with an investigation into the background behind the mysterious disappearance of the entire galaxy last Saturday. Yes, the nebulae, clusters, stellar phenomena, people on legs, people in ships, pirates, gankers, stars, planets, and lovely geysers that blow you into orbit were all gone, vanished, dark, nothing. A void. Followers of the more extreme beliefs claimed that this was the end of days, a time when all impurities would be swept away and only those who had the right book of stories in their house would be spared. Others pointed to the cyclical nature of time and speculated that this was now the time of the Big Bang, the next Big Bang, despite that being the copyrighted name for a special treatment available at Wonders. Philosophers debated, between themselves obviously, no one else is going to talk to them, that in the absence of any matter in the galaxy, how could one measure the passage of time? And indeed, if the galaxy didn't exist, how come they were still arguing the toss? Panic began to set in as pilots in the eastern part of the invisible galaxy, who had to finish a mission before their mum sent them to bed, realised that failure wasn't option. Nighttime pilots who stayed up late, because after all, this was their life, now yawned and kept looking at their digital watches, still showed a grand total of 3 steps taken in the last 24 hours. And still others who have to discover 3 more types of flora before their second Weetabix, fretted about what had happened. Enter with a flourish Dynamo Brownblaine the 23rd, who, with a figurative wave of his magic wand, a swish of his metaphorical cloak, and approximately 25 minutes after potential disaster had struck, made the galaxy reappear, just as if it had never been missing. Sent galaxy-wide advertisements for his new show, It's Big, but I'm Clever, but who has not been seen since his ship disintegrated in the glare of 100 plasma cannons from disgruntled truckers who'd missed their mission deadlines. Harry?
As you should be aware, today marks the 1200th anniversary of the day that the space station Orbital Beef was opened by the founder of Aquamine Origin, the billionaire. Back in the days when $1 billion was a lot of money, not just what Amelia Hawke earned before breakfast, Jeff Bezos. Famous for making people's dreams come true, for example sending TJ Hooker into space, showing that it's okay to wear a stupid hat at any time of the day if you're looking for a subtle way to cover up male pattern baldness because you don't have enough even for a Rabsy Nesbitt comb-over, and to train his employees to be able to store enough water to cross vast deserts by banning bathroom breaks. Mr. Bezos created his perfect pied loin de terre up there in orbit, where he was able to look down and see most of the bits of the planet that he owned. Now, a few years earlier, Elon Musk did the same to watch his half of the world by launching a car into space. It was a convertible and he kept the top down so that he could see more of his domain without the glass getting in the way. But of course it was doomed to failure. Either he forgot to put the handbrake on, or being one of his self-driving cars may have ploughed itself into the nearest comet. Either way, Mr. Musk spent a lot of money trying to recover it. Anyway, back to Jeff Bezos. Much was made of the space station's future role as a hub for research and for space tourism. But after seeing how many empty pizza boxes and cans of lager were left in his lovely white station, he decided to move his office there. And after designing the galaxy's biggest spaceship, about the size of 1.5 Type 9s, but it never flew since engines of the time were incapable of the necessary thrust, records show that the only things that were imported to the station subsequently were empty tissue boxes, chocolate, and empty milk bottles. Conversely, the only export was full milk bottles. Now, we're not saying that Mr. Bezos became paranoid, but if you find the correct orbit around Sol, you may run into the orbital beef. Quite literally, since it doesn't have a beacon to warn passing ships, just a strange cloud of some brownish material orbiting the station.
The Pilots Federation has teased us with an artistically dubious picture of what may turn out to be the view from the bridge of a fleet carrier once the proposed remodelling has taken place. Apparently, there will be, of course, the usual concessions represented on the new concourse, allowing buying and selling of ships, weapons, etc. But there's a unit that's not yet been sold, and notices have been posted asking for bids to fill this space. We've seen some of the proposals, and quite frankly, some of them sound really exciting. Spearmint Spaniel, a club for the weary pilot, which is an offshoot of Wander's Enterprises, for example. McThargoys have, of course, put in a bid, but the local Keep Carriers Clean campaign has objected, citing the amount of rubbish that's found on the floor in hangars in a typical spaceport. Presumably the pirates lobble with that out of the cargo hatch the moment they land. Cecil has proposed a drive-through bottle shop, allowing him to pick up his daily supplies without getting out of his SRV, but we think he's going to have to wait for the new indoor buggy for that. Other suggestions include a passenger lounge, black market contacts or mission boards, but we've ignored them all, as they're far too sensible. More useful would be a registrar for births, marriages and death, which would definitely get the passing trade from wedding barges and funeral ships, plus presumably couples who found that they forgot to pack any reading material during their long flight to Hutton. Definitely a cradle-to-grave service. A salvage contract might be useful, but we imagine that you get strange looks dragging an occupied space pod up from the hangar. Top of the list, though, the most requested item is a second type of bar, one that actually serves beer.
We come to you tonight with a cautionary tale of hardship, motion sickness, financial exploitation, and quite a lot of swearing. When Wells-class megaships recently added social zones which would allow commanders to make the most of their time aboard, they also included additional safety features, including quick-setting anti-vandal foam, which immobilises anyone who tries to draw a cock and balls inside the lifts, and an old man with a stick who goes round every hour to poke sleepers and make sure they're not asleep, a canary in a cage inside the loos, and emergency escape pods. Now, the first three work like a dream and will continue to do so as long as the supply of canaries holds out. Escape pods, though, have some issues, which make them vulnerable to exploitations by scammers. Space scammers. Initial tests went well. Commander Econite's initial test flight from Dove Enigma in Colonia led to them being collected by a passing long-range courier and dropped off at Baker's Prospect in the bubble after a short time in the cargo hold. Other flights, while technically successful, have led to unintended consequences. One commander was released from her pod onto a megaship in Beagle Point and had to hitch a lift back. After being kept in the cargo bay of a Type 9 for a month as it transported biowaste from Van Manen's star, Commander Yellow Holler said, "It was awful. I'll never look at Sweetcorn the same way again." The captain of the ship explained that he had forgotten that they had picked up the escape pod, but released Commander Yellow Holler as soon as he heard the screaming and the whimpering. Heartless scammers even took advantage of our very own Commander Vantian as he was conducting safety tests. Additionally, he accidentally activated one of the pods, was dragged inside, and then ejected from the ship before he could say, "Ah, my beard!" Scurrilous ne'er-do-wells were waiting outside to scoop up the pod and took him out to the T-Tower system some 500 light years from the bubble and his beloved crate, the Shitty Lady. He was only released from his escape pod when he paid an inflated fee to his captors and had to wait 2 hours until they arranged to have his ship delivered by a budget ship delivery company. Commander Vantian then had to recover the Shady Lady from a crater 5 kilometres outside of town where they had dumped it and listed it as delivered. So be warned, emergency escape pods are exactly that, emergency escape pods, which should only be used when there is absolutely no alternative. They are not for recreational jaunts around the galaxy.
And as luck would have it, we have an incoming report from Vantian, who is stunt performing as this week's outside correspondent. Outside meaning not at the orbital this week. Probably as a result of shenanigans after last week's "oops, I fell into a vat of Centauri Megagin and only escaped by drinking it all" incident. After hearing rumours that there was trouble brewing in the Peregrina system, Vantian was sent to investigate. Our only background information? That some aristocrats had accidentally retreated from all neighbouring systems after falling out with most of them, which left the permit, well, totally unobtainable. Wondering why they weren't getting any visitors, or any of the great unwashed paying credits to come and look around their staterooms in the stations and marvel at their rococo ceilings, gold leaf-covered faux fireplaces, and gaze in wonder at their alabaster busts. Well, they don't get much sunshine, these aristocrats. They realised their error and immediately petitioned the Pilots Federation for a little help. with no way to actually get out and meet people to give them credit for helping and therefore earn a permit under Pilots Federation rules, it was determined that the only course of action would be to give them their own megaship in a nearby system, so that anyone wanting a permit could pop in there, earn a little eternal gratitude of the aristocrats, and therein get the permit. Commander Vantion, on behalf of this radio station, made his way there in recent days to see what all the fuss was about. It turns out that the aristocrats had parked their megaship on someone else's lawn, and that faction was most put out. That a bunch of toffs had done this space the equivalent of driving over the petunias and leaving tire marks over the carefully manicured lawn. But why would anyone want to go to Peregrina? A long-range transmission from the Shady Lady, that's Fantion's ship, contains the system description.
Warning, plague system. The only life-bearing body has been cordoned off due to native pathogens. Any ship passing into the moon's atmosphere will be automatically designated a plague ship, refused docking in all systems, and destroyed on site by all faction and system security forces. System trade consists of rumoured alien artifacts found in deep space, along with moderate mineral deposits in these systems in an asteroid belt.
Along with a message that said,
If you guys have sent me somewhere that's going to get my ship scrapped, I'm going to be most upset. Alvin will be hearing about this.
It was accompanied by a mission log that in summary said, Number 1.
Arrived at HIP 18609. Met some posh knobs for tiffin.
Number 2.
Posh knobs appear to have got into a bit of a fight with the locals. They've asked for help.
Number 3.
Some chap with a huge moustache who keeps saying "bah" has thrown me into a dropship.
Number 4.
He keeps telling me to go over the top and blowing a whistle.
Number 5.
Attempted to stick underpants on head and 2 pencils up nose while saying a wibble.
Number 6.
Threatened with court-martial.
Number 7.
Unpacked guns. Used guns. Enemy ran away from me.
Number 8.
Earned medal.
Number 9.
Cut finger on pin for medal. Send bandages, got red on me.
Number 10.
Along with medal came permit for Peregrina.
Number 11.
Went to Peregrina. Found planet. Landed on planet. Found unregistered building.
Number 12.
Attacked by skimmers. Bash knee on SRV console. Send bandages. Got red on me.
Number 13.
Skimmers down. Found beacon. Scan beacon. Received mysterious Imperial Intel package.
Number 14.
Now wanted. Being chased out of system. Trap finger in seat adjustment. Send bandages. Got red on me.
Number 15.
Hiding on Taurus 2. Send help. Red leaking out a finger and not stopping. Plague prevention troops hunting me.
And finally, number 16.
P.S. No mysterious deep space artifacts. No aristocrats, as they're apparently in exile. No bandages.
Good evening, truckers! ISIS 5060 here, bringing you all the latest intel on the Thargoids. Now, normally I'd be all over the latest news like a rash. The only problem is that I have come down with one, and it's a nasty one. I was off to find all those nice people over at Operation IDA, or is it IDA? And the Hackswing offer to offer my services, where I accidentally bumped into a caustic cloud from one of Tharg the Mighty's minions. Well, one thing led to another, as it does appear, and it appears that Mrs. 5060 and I have both come down with a big case of the lurgy, which isn't very nice. So, we'll just leave it up to Hackswing and the lovely Mr. Falco to to tell you all about it.
Incoming encrypted transmission. Decrypting. Decryption complete.
Stand by for a message from Hexcom Actual.
Keeping it short and sweet this week, Hackswing. Tharg is showing his stubborn side. We've barely made a dent in his presence in the Pleiades, but we will keep fighting and hold the line. A new system in the Pleiades was also attacked, HR 1183, and Ark's faith there is burning. We need every AX combat-capable ship out here pushing back. Remember the last time you let the Goids into the bubble, hundreds of stations burned, and they were within a jump of Hutton space. For our station evac pilots, Copernicus Observatory, Hannah Enterprise, and IS Sudak have been fully evacuated. But Ark's Faith, Ezra Point, Cheryl Orbital, Con Relay, Carrion Vision, and Sal Prospect all still require search and rescue operations. Pick up evacuees in the burning stations and take them to the rescue ships. Also, the rescue ships need emergency supplies, especially HE suits, water, and basic medicines. We have to hold strong and fight back, Commanders. We cannot allow Tharg to gain footholds in the bubble again. Keep your eyes on the signal sources, and always be ready to defend.
Error. End of transmission code not received.
Encrypted transmission complete.
Thank you, Hackswing. There's such lovely people over there. There are bound to be stations on fire at the end of this, and it wouldn't be the same without me raiding up endless lists of systems and stations that need your help, truckers. But for the moment, keep those Thargors down, truckers, and don't forget, it's all for the man of Lemsip.
There's a little bit more than usual going on in Hutton space this week, so let's get right into it. Only one system is in the BGS basement this week. That old, stagnant stalwart of stubbornness, Barnard Star, has slipped a further point to 33 to once more hold up the rest of the table. Two of the factions are in an election, locking up 30%, and a further one is bust, so there's not a lot of influence in play to improve matters. Not quite in the basement, Trepin has declined to 41 from over 60 a month ago, and this has allowed a player faction, the Collection of Independent Agents, or CIA, to get within 2% and challenge Hutton for control of the system. The Hanky Clone Army could use a little help over there putting things back to normal. Wolf 25 is suffering an outbreak that started during the week, so shipping meds to the I've just heard it's ended this afternoon. Anyway, it's bonkers and it has large pads. At the top end of the systems league, we only have 9 systems. Only 9 above 60% with 2 over 70. 9? That's more than a third of them, folks. Let's get them under control so that we can target our next expansion and not rely on having to retreat from some dump that we don't want. Pirates have pushed past the old moth-eaten furs in the wardrobe and have infiltrated into Narnia. However, since Narences is already on 65% and could use a little cooling, there's no immediate need to rush in there straight away and lay waste to them. Unless, of course, you want to. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, boost Hutton influence in Trepin whilst there are no ongoing conflicts, and keep an eye on Barnard's stuff for when the election ends. If you want to shoot something, sort out the pirates in Narences.
It's non-stop action in the galaxy as community members organise events for us all. Here we bring you updates on just the events that we've been told about. As usual, links will be posted in Twitch chat and also in the description of the YouTube upload. The fleet carrier Konsu is around 2/3 of the way along the 124 waypoints of the Cannon Challenge, all of them hoping to get retrofitted interiors to the carrier soon so that they can stretch their legs between jumps. Commander Mephisto has taken time from changing the little pine air freshener in his cabin to send us this update.
The Comfy Cannon cruise stayed at waypoint 86 a bit longer than initially planned, nearly 4 days. Passengers used the time to explore around, and the captain made the 8.4 thousand light-year trip to Colonia to stock a Guardian fighter, take a drink at the bar in Jack's station, and enjoy exploring on his own for a change. But then Khonsu got on her way to the outermost southwestern reaches of the Milky Way. The direction given last week was wrong again. Those damned holomaps tend to flip around on their own. Thanks to Commander Belgar for noting. Gladly, imposed directions on space are meaningless. So, happily, these mistakes never resulted in misnavigation. After 3 days of jumping over 27,000 light-years, the cruise arrived at waypoint 87. Here, the K07 type anomalies waited to be admired. Clouds in which circular waves build hypnotizing interference patterns. Tomorrow Khonsu will go further along the outer galaxy rim before jumping back towards its center again.
The Wild Wild West expedition is definitely out there. Commander Airman Dan has mailed us the next chapter of the expedition's written history.
Wild Wild West waits for waypoint 11. The Wild Wild West expedition has set off on the second half of its journey, moving down the western edge of the galaxy towards V1357 Cygni. This week, members are making a mark on the universe by leaving a waymark on the galactic travel map in the shape of a W. This will appear in EDSM and Ed Astro as a testament to the expedition for future explorers and travellers passing this way. On Saturday, the expedition will be live in Twitch at Airman_Dan #3352's stream. At 1800, in-game travellers and viewers will be welcome to participate in the hunt for waypoint 11, as Twitch plays Elite Dangerous. This exciting opportunity to find a waypoint in real time has never been done before, and all are welcome to drop by and participate in the search. Next week, the expedition will begin to climb above the plane into new and totally uncharted territory. First discoveries abound, so stay tuned for new and exciting developments from the frontier.
Expedition All the Clouds in the Sky is currently managing with a mostly absent leader. Commander Deluvian tells us that what has befallen him and why his crew have taken to whistling hi-ho, it's off to work we go every morning. I have been completely dormant. My God, what a terrible feeling. The crew is out there struggling for tritium and trying to develop new ways how to be more efficient, and at the same time I am practically unable to join them, feeling like I'm in a cryogenic sleep. Well, I've looked with one eye half closed though on what's going on our Discord server. The first and most important is Commander Kalidas Akoma, with the great help of Commander Dracomenda, who developed a very smart plugin for ED Market Connector. Its purpose is to register during your mining session all the rocks you prospected, how many had tritium, the return ratio found versus total, and how many tons you mined versus average tons per hour. A small thing, but helps to prove or disprove all the theories related to tritium yield, also giving you a nice real-time overview of your progress, if nothing else. Of course, that triggered the discussion about low-temperature diamond hotspots versus tritium hotspots, etc. I have to say, I agree with Commander Hazard 6S. There is no magic to LTD. From my point of view, we stopped where we did because the LTD hotspot was overlapping that for the tritium. In this sense, I used it as an alternative because finding overlapping tritium hotspots out here proved to be very difficult, if not impossible. Well, it was supposed to be an exploration update, and this is more of a mining rant. Guess what? If you want to explore the galaxy using a fleet carrier with a small crew, or even worse, just by yourself, you'd better get your pickaxe ready and sharp. If you've been paying attention over the last few weeks, you'll be aware that the 26th have planned a scavenger hunt. They're calling it the Bandit Run. It starts tomorrow, Friday, 0:30 UTC, and there are 2 classes of entrants. Runners who must collect 6 items, several of which Amelia Hawke should really try to warn you against. 1. Lavian Brandy. 2. Bass Snake Gin. 3. CD75 Kitten Brand Coffee. 4. Sherborne's Blood Crystals. 5. Duringa's Truffles. 6. Nagandarandari Fire Opals. Then deliver them to Hutton Orbital. The other class is Pirate, who should attempt to steal as many items as possible from runners. There is glory and prizes galore. Commander DB Exterminator has taken time out from lining up the starting tape to make a last-minute call for all 4 participants.
Greetings, Commanders! There is still time to register for the Bandit Run. If you have joined the Discord and have not yet selected whether you'll be a pirate or a runner, you must do so to be eligible for the prizes. Speaking of which, I have 2 bonus prizes. Both are 20 million credits each. The first one is for the pirate who steals my cargo. I'm looking forward to the challenge, so I'll even give my ship's name, the Warhead. And the second bonus prize is for the runner who clocks the fastest time to Hutton Orbital from the main star in Alpha Centauri. More details on the Discord page. Good luck, Commanders.
And don't forget to run the Hutton Helper whilst you do it, participants. Who knows, if you beat the current record of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 20 seconds, you could be in the running for your very own genuine Hutton mug. There are still a few weeks to sign up for the Magellan Experience. All truckers are invited by the Independent Explorers Association to their most ambitious trip to date, covering not only winter but the first part of next year, November 28, 3307 to February 13, 3308. From Beatus Sculptoris to W. Ursae Majoris, heading south towards the Seagull Nebula to link up with the Perseus arm of the galaxy. From there, heading east down the arm all the way to the very tip to visit Magellan Star. Commander Richard Flurand M and the team are packing supplies and have sent this update.
The expedition has increased in popularity, increasing in numbers to 87, 1 month before launch. Scouting plans are still underway in preparation of the experience, with a new trailer on the way.
Remember, if you want your event to feature, please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and you too could be basking in fame and fortune, or at least get a mention.
And that was the news. Stay tuned for a brand new Galnet News special report, Flossy's roundup of the CG news, Hutton Helper results, and naturally Amelia Hawke will be here to present this week's edition of the Galnet Rares Digest, or as I like to think of it, the triumph of hope over experience. But first, some chat. Oh, seamless, apart from me forgetting to turn my microphone on. Yes.
So was anyone else jamming out to the intro music going backwards?
Yeah, I thought, oh, we get new music. That's good.
It sounded pretty awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's yes. That's one.
Yeah, that bit that you did with speaking backwards just after, that was awesome.
I'd practice all afternoon, you know.
Maybe you should have practiced in the morning as well.
Yeah, quite. Yes, it was. It was different, wasn't it? All right.
It was certainly different. Yes.
Yes. I thought I can't keep that going very long.
Alternate universe. I liked alternate universe me.
It actually sounded it had a beat to it.
Yeah, it did. Oh, it worked. Worked better than it does going forwards.
Yes, it was. Yes. Well, we'll try that with everything then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll reverse this before we upload the recording.
Nobody would notice. But there you go.
Yeah.
Paul is dead.
So
Harry is the devil. Harry is the devil.
Harry is the devil. Harry is the devil.
You leave off my Harry. I like him.
That's quite disturbing.
That's very disturbing.
Yeah.
It's
Disturbed. Sorry, the word I'm looking for was disturbed, not disturbing.
It's more disturbing coming out of my mouth, I tell you. Now that took an afternoon practice.
So
Yes.
it turns out, speaking of disturbing and strange voices, it turns out his 50-60s getting better, but still a bit rough then.
Yeah, well, last week his missus was quite nasty with the COVID-y thing, and obviously, and he was looking after her and worried about how things were going. And I contacted him today to see how things were going. She's on the mend, but he's now gone downhill a bit. So,
Oh, for God's
so if you're listening, Annie, he was listening last week. So, feel better, both of you.
Yeah, if you're listening, get well soon.
Get well soon.
That voice. Oh, by the way, Vantian is still being hunted by the plague police over in Peregrina, apparently.
I'm not surprised. Have you seen what lives in his beard?
Yeah, I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
Well, he has to be hunted somewhere. At least we know where he is now. It went quiet then.
That list, I cracked up with that list. That was so funny.
Yes. So true as well. It's just so like him.
Well, I think,
and the thing is that I could see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do know that wasn't part of the script. He just pasted in part of his diary.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just an average day.
Off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a day in Vantian's life.
So what news we got this week?
We've just done the news.
Yeah,
other news.
Yeah, but
surely that's not it.
Yeah, real news.
Somebody wash his mouth out.
Well, I mean, again, on the thing, there was no news about consoles. Well, no real news, but what they did say is it's been worked on, it's not forgotten about, it's this and that, which, to an extent...
Well, they just said there was no news. They didn't say it was being worked on, they just said there was no news.
Oh, no, somebody asked, at one point, somebody asked, and Sally came back and said, we don't have any news to give you, we can only tell you what we know.
But
we know
when we do...
Yeah, but she did always...
You'll know all about it.
She did also say it wasn't forgot about and stuff was happening.
Yeah.
You're not really missing out on much.
Don't say that. I'm missing out on walking about. I'm missing out on jumping over buildings like you guys do. I'm missing out on rocket launchers and grenades. I'm missing out. I'm missing out on weed bothering. I'm missing out on strutting my stuff around the stations.
See, for me, it's a moot point because I can't do it anyway because it's not VR.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Computer
well,
has a screen.
I mean, it's really it really breaks your immersion when you have to take off the headset, program your plug in your mouse and keyboard.
It's the same for me. Technically, I could play Odyssey, but I would have to get the game on a PC and buy it, and then do it. But I could do it. I'm just that I like the console, so I have to wait, which is fair enough. But it's a wee ray of sunshine coming through the tunnel there, So I'm grabbing that and I'm hanging on to it, and I don't care if you want to undermine my hopefulness with facts. I'm hanging on to this and it's mine. And they said they were working on it. They did. I heard them.
Well, just let me know when you've got it and you've had a test run of it. That way, I can prepare myself to point and laugh.
Yeah,
normally sort of being legless is sort of an ambition. Well, certainly on a Friday night. But
I need legs. I'm only little. I don't even need big legs. I only need little legs.
It depends how far your bum is from the floor, really, doesn't
Not
it?
very. Not very.
Well, you've got no legs.
Yeah.
So do you remember what wasn't in Update 8?
Could it new SRV?
Two-seater SRV.
Yeah. So we still haven't seen any more details apart from that screenshot that half.
Yeah.
Very pointedly said, I did that.
Which was pretty much the roof and a gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But despite it having 2 seats, and we can infer more shields and armour, and some tasty-looking weapons, do you know what it doesn't have?
What does it not have?
Guess it doesn't have.
Coffee holder?
Not
Does
sure
it
about
not
that.
have? Does
Cake.
it not have surround sound?
Possibly. Well, you trundling across the
spare wheel?
landscape, blowing up everything in sight. That's pretty surround sound. It doesn't have any tea-making facilities, and you know what's wrong with that? Every British combat vehicle has always had a BV, a boiling vessel, tea-making facility. How can you go to battle without tea?
That's no way
Ammunition,
to,
for that matter, but you could use
that's
harsh
no way to
language. But
talk
no
about the
tea,
commander.
definitely not without tea.
That's
They
no
had a-
way to talk about the commander. You can't call them a boiling vessel. Not to the face.
Now, if they had a hot mug, they wouldn't need a boiling vessel. It keeps
That's true.
tea hot. Those are magic as
What
well.
they need is what Commander Palantir's got, which is a Hutton sippy mug, so that if you get shot and everything shakes around, it doesn't spill.
Even better.
Yeah.
Don't get shot.
Well, don't get shot, yeah, but it's going to happen sooner or later.
Didn't he only achieve that after the dreaded wine accident of
the I poured
2021?
wine into my computer.
Not of the
boiled
cream,
it and
cream.
inhaled it.
2020.
Yeah.
The dreaded wine accident of 2020.
I was taking part in a Hutton expedition, taking my SRV across the surface, reached out for the glass, and the glass went arse over what's her name. Yes.
Computer.
Not the white sofa and the cream carpet.
No. The white wine in the top of the tower unit, which is next to the desk here.
Can I check where you pished at the time?
No. And it was
wow.
Not as much as I would want it to be.
See, legless.
Yeah.
But you carried on driving.
Amelia, can you do legless in your seamless voice? What does legless sound like?
Legless.
Legless.
Is that more like Legolas? But, close. Yeah.
Legolas.
Are you making without jokes again?
Yeah. Or without Lego. Legolas.
That's right.
Legolas.
Harry Balrog.
Yeah, Harry Balrog, yes.
Oh.
Anyway,
I had problems.
I had problems.
You shall not pass.
Oh, it did.
Yes.
No. I got a sound effect from later I could have used.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what else did Arth and Sally have to tell us? Well, tonight there's a law stream, our very own. Well, we'll hear them later, won't we?
Yeah,
Commanders Wotherspoon and Beetlejude will be.
It was quite intense, I thought.
Intense.
No, not. It was
not intense.
Camping.
No, intense. Is there a second T in that word when I say it? I don't think so.
In past tense or in future tense or in present tense?
You know, you can only ran past the campground.
I'm looking. Hang on. One thing I don't have on this list. I'm just going to be looking for my tumbleweeds button here.
I'm just stepping off to hit my head off a wall. I'll be back soon. Let me know when you're done.
You be careful,
So
you're dicing with death.
God,
it's
right. Anyway, Simon, you carry on with your joke.
You can only pull the pin on the grenade once. You see, that's how they get it out of the way.
You missed it. You were talking. You missed it. Anyway, so in December. Oh, God, coming in December.
Santa Claus.
Well, apart from Santa Claus and Bruce
my
Willis,
birthday,
and
other people's birthdays.
Nick and Tony's Plaza.
New Year. Yeah, Nick and Tony's Plaza. Yes.
Frontier are going to have a dedicated stream.
That sounds painful.
On fleet carriers and the fleet carrier interiors, which come in post update 9. So watch out for that one. And then,
so are fleet carrier interiors in update 9?
What did I just say?
You just said fleet
Post
carrier interiors are
update 9.
Oh, so there won't be an update 9, is what you're saying?
Just carry on. It's yours now. You run with it. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to make sure that they definitely weren't in update 9. Not that it make any difference to me.
All right, that dealt with him. Right.
Yeah.
There's some nice stellar screenshots. There's one you're looking at there, and it's like broken your SRV, blown a transaxle.
Oh, I saw that.
Well, prop it up on some cactoid and get to work spannering. Oh, that was quite a nice shot there.
Yeah, that was. And what I like
what's
is
that-
that you knew it was a cactoid, and only you would know that. Everybody else was calling it a nobly.
Oh, LCU would
They
know
were
what it
calling
was.
a nobly biological thing.
I know what it was.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was.
Zapped a lot of those.
Yeah.
And what's this?
Yeah, you haven't got Odyssey, have you?
No. Thanks for that, Helen.
And what's this other one? That's from our very own Eros.
Oh, that's right. No, is he in chat?
No.
No. Okay. Oh well.
He's in Canadania.
Was that the that was the
Canadiana.
one? Forgotten the name of his fleet carrier now.
Isfahan.
That's the-
Isfahan 2,
the
probably.
Isfahan.
Yeah, but Isfahan too. Yeah, the discounted Isfahan.
Isfahan.
It's Fahan.
Yeah.
Did the Kessel run in 12 parsecs?
Yes. So's Wookiees. Yes. Yeah.
He's renamed it the 1.5 billion off.
30% discount.
Yeah.
So that was kind of Tuesday. I very briefly saw the stream tonight, but obviously we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did watch a bit of it. Say that it was quite. I'm not going to say the word because you'll just do the same jokes again. But it was.
Yeah.
There was quite a lot of it. It's quite involved. Yes.
Yeah, involved. That's what I was thinking.
It's the kind of thing you've got to listen to in the background while you're.
It's the sort of thing for people
trading and
for people who won't cross the road without rolling a 12-sided die. You know, it's
Yeah. Is that not revolved? I did notice there was a lot of kind of furrowed brows and strokey beards and and chin stroking and
Jude getting distracted a lot.
Yeah.
You mean Jude was stroking a beard?
Oh, yeah, but not hers. Yeah, but it wasn't hers.
Well, you don't know that it wasn't hers.
I couldn't see the camera. No.
Yeah, but it was a beard.
I'll go back. Only one of them's got a beard.
I has a beard. Yes.
The chap who was in the middle.
Yes, or Captain Pugwash or whatever his name was.
Crispy tater top or something.
Oh yeah, he has a beard. He's enough beard for everybody. Yeah. So there we go. Right. Well,
Have we done?
Is that it?
Any more nonsense to go through?
No, I've run out of things to say.
No. Jude says she's perfectly capable of growing her own beard.
Yes, thank you. And I'm sure it would be long and luxuriant if you did.
So am I going to read this next little bit then?
Yeah, you better had because we're
all right. Yeah, because you're just going to keep going. Okay, time for something that looks a little bit like a pig with rabbit-like ears and a kangaroo's tail. Yet it's not related to any of these animals. In fact, is anyone going to finish my sentence?
One of
its closest
living relatives is the elephant.
I haven't got an elephant. I'll have to.
Is it Sean?
No. Just because I've got grey skin like buns. And I never forget what my name is. Yeah.
I knows it droops at the end.
Yeah.
You can
Aardvark!
Yeah, Aardvark!
Phew, thank goodness for that.
Thank God for that. Right. Now that that's out of the way.
I love that. That's become like a Mornington Crescent, hasn't it?
That started off as a safe word.
Yeah,
It's a safe word.
Yeah.
Right.
Talking of which, if you're a fan of, I'm sorry, I haven't a clue, sad news today, the Lionel Blair died today.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. That's sad. Oh.
Yeah, it's time for... Yeah, so he's got a little stiffy. Right, okay. Yes.
Okay, right. We'll move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Sorry, who's Lionel Blair?
Don't. That's another 4 hours work. We'll go.
Right.
We'll talk to you later.
It's my turn to speak.
Not
It's my
after
turn.
week.
The script says it's my turn.
Hang on, we'll
We
change
have
that.
to put... No, bollocks. We have to put a special marker in our recordings for this next bit, as it's the only part of the show that the Pilots Federation tune in to watch. That explains why we get away with what we say in the rest of it, I suppose. It's the pilot's favourite... Oh, God, I had one job to do. It's the Pilots Federation's favourite pilot, and that's official. It's Flossy with the CG News. Seamless.
Seamless.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's Community Goals news. Nothing to report from last week as there was no CGs. This week, the Colonia Bridge project, second phase. Brewer Corporation.
Brewer Corporation.
Seamless.
Yeah. Right, so I'll have a go at this. New CGs, the Colonia Bridge project.
Excuse me, what?
You're back!
Excuse me, what's going on here?
You went quiet.
You died, Flossy.
You did.
You did.
You did at this end.
Right, I'm here.
You better be.
Right. Hello, Flossy here with this week's Community Goals news. There were no CGs last week, so nothing to report there. New CGs. The Colonia Bridge project, second phase. Brewer Corporation requests deliveries in both the Colonia and Alcor systems for the next phase of the Colonia Bridge project. A successful initiative in October resulted in the placement of 30 dockable megaships at intervals of several hundred light years, providing services such as refueling and repairs. The second phase seeks to establish this support for the full route between the core systems and the Colonia region. A press release from Brewer Corporation stated, "We are now ready to continue work on the Colonia Bridge by constructing additional megaships to fill the middle of the planned route. As before, we require shipments of ceramic composites, computer components and thermal cooling units at Jack Station in the Colonia system or McDonald settlement in the Alcor system. Should deliveries reach sufficient levels, the top 75% of contributors will be awarded an engineered frameshift drive with increased range and faster boot sequence. Our hope is that this encourages deep space explorers and long-distance haulers to take part in the Colonia Bridge project." As an additional reward, the top 10 contributors at Alcor and Colonia will be invited to submit naming suggestions for the new megaships. Submissions will be subject to review by the Brewer Corporation Board of Directors. To ensure a variety of choice, only pilots who have not yet submitted names for the Colonia Bridge megaships will be eligible. Each tier reached will enable Brewer Corporation to add the following megaships to the Colonia Bridge route by the 25th of November 3307. The module reward class is also decided by the final tier. Colonia, Tier 1, 2 dockable megaships. Tier 2, 1 additional dockable megaship. Tier 3 will be another dockable megaship and modified 3A frameshift drive. Tier 4, one additional dockable megaship and modified 4A frameshift drive. Tier 5, another dockable megaship and modified 6A frameshift drive. Alcor, 4 dockable megaships for Tier 1. Tier 2 will be another 4. Tier 3 is another 4 and a modified 3A frameshift drive. Tier 4 another 4, modified 4A frameshift drive, and Tier 5 additional dockable megaships and modified 6A frameshift drive. Reward tiers are cumulative, and higher tiers will include rewards from lower tiers. The campaign begins on 4th of November and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering ceramic composites, computer components and thermal cooling units to Jack Station in the Colonia system or McDonald settlement in the Alcor system. Be aware that faction we don't need that bit, do we? Faction states can disrupt events, etc. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you, Flossy, with what we're now going to call the additional dockable megaship review. We've got the Woodstein and Burnwood of galactic reporting now, a special spooky report from Commanders Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. I say it's from them. Beetlejude introduces it, and presumably Wotherspoon stitched all the bits of videotape together, but it's a fascinating piece of reportage nonetheless. Please note, when they suggest that to avoid spoilers, you might want to stop listening. Only do it for 8 minutes. We don't want you to miss the rest of the show.
Spoiler warning. If you'd like to discover these logs for yourself, stop watching now. Galnet News Special, the chilling story of Holloway Bioscience Facility 15. On Friday the 29th of October, a distress call was picked up by one of the New Colonia Bridge megaships. Its source was traced to the Snake Sector GW-W C1-1 system, Planet AB 5b. But when commanders investigated, the distress call was more than half a century old. Log files recovered from the now deserted site help us reconstruct the events. What follows is the complete recovered logs from the site.
Well, this is definitely one for Excalibur Troops Hall of Fame if we had one. The Holloway Bioscience Institute said they'd lost contact with one of their labs. They hired us to investigate and evacuate the staff if necessary. Well, there's no doubt the staff are dead, but we have no idea what happened. We found some empty clothing and suits stained with frozen blood. Base has been without power for weeks, but there's no bodies. No signs they left the settlement either. It's possible...
Captain, this is Thalani. I thought you'd like to know the power center's cooling systems must have been faulty. The base techs had rigged some geothermal conduits to pump all the waste heat underground, but I've got everything reactivated, so all systems coming back online.
Great work, Corporal. Keep me informed. Sterling out. Okay, that's some good news. I've got most of the team searching for clues, and Lieutenant McKellar's downloading their data files, so hopefully we'll soon... Wait. I can hear gunfire. Sergeant Jared, come in. Jared, report.
Stand by, Captain. I'm entering the engineering block now. Roth, Buckley, ceasefire. Where do you... Oh my god.
They're coming out of the floor. What the hell are they? Buckley, get back!
Get off me! Get them off me!
We're in trouble. Serious trouble. These things have come out of nowhere. They're swarming through the base. Tunison, Buckley, and Webster are dead. Patel and Cook, too, I think. They came crawling up through the floor grates of the engineering block. Hundreds of them all at once. I've never seen anything like them before. Kind of similar to spiders, but with too many legs. Completely white in color. Each one's about the size of a fist with a round mouth like a lamprey, and they move like lightning. I ordered my people to wipe them out, but there's just too many, so now we're...
Captain, we've sealed the bulkheads in Section 3, but they got past them. They're spilling out of the air vents on top of us.
Sergeant, pull back to the control center now. Do you read me?
I can't.
Sarge! Sarge! It's too late. He's covered in them. He's finished. Move! Move! Move!
Jared's down. Dead. How can Jared be dead? He was my first recruit when... I need to get us out of here. This is Captain Sterling to the Excalibur. Come in. Emergency code Omega. Bring the ship down immediately for full extraction. Excalibur, respond.
There's one on my leg. I can't see it.
I got it. It's gone. Lean on me, Sam. I've got you. Let's go.
Excalibur, this is a code Omega. Come in.
I don't understand. Comms are open. Why aren't they responding? Transponder signals... No signal. The ship's not there. What happened to him? What the hell's going on? We've gathered in the control center, those who are left. Half my team is gone. Whole base is in darkness apart from our suit lights, and the power center's been shut down. That's what caused those things to appear in the first place. McKellar downloaded the research team's final report made after the first attack. Their xenologists believe the creatures come from an enclosed subterranean ecosystem over a kilometer below the moon's surface. It's likely that they see an infrared like thermal imaging when they hunt other heat-producing animals. So the waste heat being pumped underground was a massive attraction to them, melting the subsurface ice and allowing them to crawl up the pipes.
Captain, I'm at Maintenance Hatch 4. We've finished blocking the vents, but Jules hasn't returned yet. I'm going back out to find her.
Hold your position. If that last doorway isn't sealed, they'll be able to get in. Roth, come in. This is Sterling. Report. I repeat, this is Captain Sterling to Private Roth. Respond immediately. Seal it, Corporal. That's an order.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing we can do now but wait. Without the power center's heat, we're hoping that those things will retreat back underground and leave us the hell alone. I can hear them out there in the dark, scuttling along the floors and walls, trying to find some crack to crawl through and get to us. If they do, well, I've still got a fully charged cell in my carbine. That should be enough for everyone who's left. I won't let them go out like the others. It worked! It took a couple of hours, but the creatures are gone. McKellar confirmed that the geothermal pipes have been refrozen, which should stop them climbing back up again. On my orders, he blasted the power center's controls, so they're stuck underground forever. Now all we have to worry about is asphyxiation. With no juice for the environmental systems, the air won't last long. Our suits will give us a few more hours, but since our ship has vanished, we're trapped down here. I've sent a message on the emergency beacon, but we're hundreds of light years away from any...
Sir, Corporal Thulani definitely isn't within the perimeter. He must have sealed the hatch from the other side. I think he might have gone looking for Jules. Private Roth. They were kinda close.
Acknowledged. Add his name to the list of dead, please. Sterling out. I didn't know about Thulani and Roth. Should I have known? I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Captain, there's a ship right above us in low orbit. A megaship.
What? Thank God. You must have picked up our beacon. Can you identify it?
Scanning now. It's a strange one. Looks like it might be a dredger clan. There are tribal markings all over it. I can just about make out a name on its hull. Phagos, I think it says. A couple of landing craft are heading down.
Let's have a welcome party ready at the main airlock. Lieutenant Sterling out. Well, some good luck at last. I'm sure these scavengers will want payment for rescuing us, but it'll be worth every credit. Traveling to Dredger Clan's hardly going to be a luxury cruise. Still, anything's better than being eaten alive.
Thank you, Commanders Beetlejude and Witherspoon. Wow, that report will haunt me forever. Or at least until we next hear from the apology officer, whichever comes first. Now, over to the Hutton Helper results.
Oh, seamless. Anyway, welcome to the Hutton Helper results. The Hutton Helper results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a one-way ticket to anywhere in the galaxy. This week we have the following events: the Shrek and Donkey on the road again Endurance Cup, the Selling Up and Moving On Shield, the More Farewell Tours Than Status Quo Deja Vu Trophy. That's quite apt. The Turns Out You're Not Wanted, So You Can Just Go, Grabbed by the Fuzz Special Award. The Go, Walk Out the Door, Don't Turn Around Now, Shard Carrying Up the Jacksy, Champion of Champions Championship. And the Your Taxi's Here, Your Excellency, Leaving on a Jet Plane Challenge. So, look to the future and new horizons, onwards and upwards, and don't let the door hit your arse on the way out. This week's Hutton Helper results are: in exploration, Mark Santius is first with just under 36,000 light years travelled. O'Plunker 1005 sold 61,308 tonnes of goodies to come in first in the cargo sold. Top mission runner is me! I managed to record the score of 646 mission points. Alex Zuno and Volcarius are doing requests now. Both claim bounties to the value of 888,888,888 credits. JNX handed in a little over 815 million credits of combat bonds to top the table there. And top place for passenger transported goes to Tow Truck, who taxied 6,631 passengers around the galaxy. I suspect there were some station rescues involved in that one. So, decals for O'Plunker 1005 and Tow Truck. Please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a suitcase, a neatly folded pair of Hutton branded life rugs, and some foreign food. Well, there's only 2 Hutton runs this week, by Count Nugget and, me. Well, you know, I can't really complain that no one else is doing them if I don't do a run either, so I did. Count Nugget recorded a time of 1 hour, 24 minutes and 37 seconds, putting them in 197th place overall. It took me an hour, 28 minutes and 56 seconds, which isn't exactly a blistering time, but I did have to fight off a dastardly pirate who was after all my tasty cargo. Anyway, I brought supplies. It's a long run, so they might get a wee bit past their sell-by date, so Helen, that's your fries 5 center. Packet of Tudor crisps for Amelia, pickled onion flavour. Sean, I know you wanted spangles, but I wasn't sure which one, so I just got blackcurrant. And canitizer and a packet of salt and shake for chicks. I'm having a Texan bar, and I am not sharing it. So, are you hanging around waiting for the next Freedom shuttle out of Nowhere City? Yeah, well then you should have come to Hutton instead, shouldn't you? Are you so excited about going away that you keep checking everything? Let's put that energy to good use. How, you ask? Well, I'll tell you how. Just go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the Hutton Helper before going wandering off to do things. Let's face it, anything has to be better than announcing you're leaving, but no one listens. Well, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Amir. I've been passed a note from Commander Ventura, which says, the guy last week did it better. Someone who's never been surpassed, as often surprised, is Amelia Hawke. Sit back, listen, watch the Galnet Rares Digest as I go and hide behind the sofa.
Good evening. This is Amelia Hawke, reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. Since the earliest days of humanity, when the first hominids huddled around fires, we've been friends with dogs. The relationship began with wolves stealing scraps of food where they could, to becoming our closest friends, hunting with us, protecting us, and sharing our homes. They have been our loyal companions over the centuries, from the hunting dogs of the ancient Britons and the greyhounds of the ancient Egyptians to the Labradoodles and the Yurihuahuas of the early 21st century, which prompted authorities to tell dog breeders to have a word with themselves. You never see a cat with a barrel of brandy striding majestically through the Alps looking for beleaguered climbers. There are no guide rabbits or hippos for the deaf. Dogs are unique among all animals, and tonight we look at dogs which are unique even for this remarkable species. They are the Momus Bog Spaniels. As you would expect, these fluffy-bellied, droopy-eared mutts come from Momus, where they were bred for hunting in the game reserves of Nemesis. They are well adapted to the temperate wetlands. Their coat is long and thick, with an undercoat to keep them warm and dry. They have shorter legs than most spaniels and outsized paws, which spreads their weight and allows them to move freely on the saturated ground of the marshes. Coupled with their droopy spaniel ears, this gives them a comical appearance, but don't be fooled. They are ferocious hunters, and despite their comical appearance, have a vicious streak a mile wide. There is a reason they are used by the security teams at Hutton, and it's not for those big sad eyes. Nothing can sink its teeth into your arse like a Momus Bog Spaniel, and I discovered on one particularly raucous night out with the radio crew. Wonders even has a special room where those who are so inclined can pay a bit extra to have one of these fluffy fiends attach itself to your rear end. They have a towel rail style handle and a piece of leather to bite down on. It's very discreet. And the fun doesn't end there. Momus Bog Spaniels do not bark. They quack. They really do, and it's adorable. When I was on Tartarus Port earlier, the trainers were working with some of the puppies on basic obedience training. Every time one of them got something right and was praised, it would go into a frenzy of excited quacking, which sets off all the others. And before you know it, they're all wagging their tails and tripping over two big ears as they desperately try to be the next clever puppy or good dog. A Momus Bog Spaniel quack attack is a sight and a sound to behold. Today we are headed down to the planet. It's off season for hunting, but we're not here for the ducks. We're here for the spaniels. Every now and then a team has to come to the surface and bring back some of the pooches who have gone feral in the wetlands. This is essential in ensuring variety is maintained in the breed. The crew are busy setting up dog carriers at our base camp and preparing tranquilizer darts for the hunt. We're all wearing waders with a padded backside, jackets with padded arms, and each has one of those hats with the flappy ear things at the side. The hat looks stupid, I'm sure, but the dogs seem comforted by it. The wetlands are, wetland. The ground is spongy underfoot, and the forecast today is warm. Humid weather with smurry rain. Well, smur is a kind of rain that just hangs in the air and gets you wet by walking through it. The mist has lifted now, and I can see the hills and mountains around us as the bog rises into the grassland and forest. With a bit of sunshine, it could look quite beautiful, but I'm assured that's a rarity around these parts. The vista reminds me of a family holiday to Scotland World, a Federation colony and a theme park founded by citizens who wanted to recreate the old country. Sadly, as they had never seen the old country, it ended up more like Vegas meets Brigadoon on acid. And shamrocks everywhere. I mean, they're not even Scottish. There's a damp, musty odour too, which becomes more pungent as we move around and disturb some of the vegetation underfoot. The dogs don't mind. They just wander around, sniffing everything and wagging their tails. And then we are ready, and the hunt begins. We split into 3 groups, and each group takes 2 dogs with them. They sense the excitement in the air, which leads them to nipping at one another and doing their best to get the leashes tangled around their long legs. For the moment, though, they remain quiet. We move off towards a small, low island covered by low bushes. Our guide suggests this may be a good place for wild spaniels to make a den. I'm instructed to stay here next to one of the few small trees in the area. I can see the trapper is up ahead, but I'm far enough back not to get in the way. The dogs go forward, and I can just about hear their distant quacks. The trappers follow up and trank rifles raised, but all stays quiet. They're circling around to the back now. Oh, I can't see. There's a noise behind me, and oh, hello, little one. Oh, look at you. You look half-starved, and you're only little. Hang on, I think I have a sandwich in my bag. Would you like some of this? Oh, that's adorable. Oh, here you go. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, shh. Oh, you vicious little bastard. Let go. Bloody hell, there's loads of them. Fetch! Right, I'm off. Thankfully, I'm on an island of dried mud, so I can run fast. I hope I don't fall through the cracks. They're right behind me now, and I'm sure they would have caught up to me already if I didn't keep standing on their own ears and falling over one another. I can see the trapper ahead now. Hey! Over here! That was close, but the trapper team has them on the run. The guys are good. They're darting the delightful little buggers like it's going out of fashion. Oh, they're all curled up and sleeping together. Oh, how sweet is that? There's the one that bit me. It still has blood on its face. Yeah, less sweet. Get him in the cages, quick. We're back on the station now, and the feral pups are being taken for acclimatization and basic training. I'm off to the medical for a handful of brightly coloured tablets and some antibacterial jabs. Looks like the Momus Bog Spaniels aren't the only ones getting darted today. I'm Amelia Hawke, and I got chased through a swamp by Momus Bog Spaniels. So you don't have to.
Wow.
I want a pet, but I want a pet Momus Bog Spaniel.
I don't know if you do, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't care if they bite.
Yeah. Running about quacking and tripping over their ears.
You can sort of hang them up to dry, I suppose.
Yeah, you can.
Well, you can see why they're very dangerous to.
They are vicious little buggers.
Yeah, they must leap up from the ground and grab your ass because they have got short legs. So
yeah, I think that's about the sort of apex of the leap. It's just about arse height. Well, for most people, you know. Obviously, for me, they hit me right. For me, they hit me right between the shoulders. But for most people, they're about arse height.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that coming.
Yeah, as it flew overhead. Yes.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah. So has anybody been to this for the special treatment?
Would anyone admit to it, even if they did?
I would if I had. I'd be showing you the scars.
That's an excellent point.
I've still got teeth marks, look. Oh dear.
Yes, that was fun. That was, and I was hitting the buttons on this, but it was fast. Must have been faster than bloody Rick Wakeman doing a concert.
Yeah.
Rick Wakeman was a musician for our younger viewers.
We like to challenge you, Sean.
Which band was he in then?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, he was. Yes.
He was a keyboardist, wasn't he?
With about 17 keyboards. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just his left hand.
And he cloak. He used to wear a cloak like he was a musician.
Who didn't in those days?
He'd said he wanted something musician, and somebody misheard him. You know. It was. Yeah. Oh.
So now we're at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Is that Lennon Blair?
No, Lionel Blair.
Lionel Blair.
Lionel Blair's an entertainer of old-fashioned entertainer. Been on TV for many decades, but was the subject of much ribald commentary in the long-running Radio 4 show. I'm sorry, I haven't a clue, where they made out that Lionel was actually not as other men, as they say. But no, Lionel was but so there would be things like that. They'd because one of the shows he took part in on TV was Give Us a Clue, which was like charades, basically. Yes, and they would do things like. Eyes popped as Lionel pulled off 12 angry men in under 2 minutes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's back in the days when charades was a television programme.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Radio 4.
Yeah, it's what old people listen to.
I knew there was like a Radio 2.
That's where all the funny stuff is.
When you get
it goes down to 2.
Yeah, when you get too old for Radio 2, you go to Radio 4.
I've listened to Radio 4 since I was like 13.
Yeah, but you've been 45 since you were 13.
I have.
I'm presuming there's a 3 as well.
There's a 3, but I don't know what 3. I don't know what happens.
3 is classical. I listen to 3 a lot. Yeah.
So what's
well,
on
there you are.
Never listened to 3. Yeah.
Is there like more? 5? Is there a 5?
There's a 5. 5 is sport.
5 live.
Oh, okay. Skip that one then.
What
is there 6?
Yeah, 6. Yes, that's even more young people.
And then there's 4 extra. There's ones in between as well. They're not all integers.
Yeah.
It's what you don't pay.
And Radio 1, of course, is bumpity bump Caroline music.
Oh, God, no idea.
That is young person's music.
Young
so what
persons.
you do is you progress from Radio 1 to Radio 2, and then when you're too old for Radio 2, you go straight to Radio 4. Or Radio 3. If you want a bit of classical, you can have Radio 3 as well.
Yeah.
Radio.
It's like the holy hand grenade.
Yeah. In Radio 4, they don't really play music, but they have earnest discussions about things.
5 is right out.
Yeah. 5 is right out. As is Radio 1.
There's a little track they play at the end of the day called Sailing By.
The station shall be 3.
It's just before they shut down for the day, and you get the test card. Yes.
Yeah. On the World Service then.
Talking of something completely different, with you're saying, Mia, in the run 2 Hutton runs. Well, I'm hoping we'll get quite a few for next week. Of course, with the Bandit
next
run
week
coming
is
up.
Bandit run, isn't it? Let's see. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and
if you are all coming out, can somebody bring a pint of milk?
Yeah.
Because the one you brought went off on the trip.
Yeah. I brought a pint of cheese.
Flossie, have you seen how many fleet carriers are in Alcor and every bloody system around it? God.
Oh, I haven't looked.
I'm just jumping there now.
I just get fed up of all in, just everywhere.
Got about 5
I thought you were supposed to be able to filter them out system, Matt, but I've never been able to.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, it's been
Can you?
For me. Yeah, I think you have to be in Horizons for that. Well, I am just waiting. My ship should now have. My exploration ship should have arrived at Shinrarta Desert, and I am going to tear my way out to Colonia, pick up a cargo ship there, and then pick up some kind of commodity to bring in, and do it that way.
Will you be stopping off on any mockable degaships?
I might stop. I might stop at a dogging mega site. I don't know yet. See how I feel.
Oh dear.
After those Hutton Helper results, I am not slagging Flossy off about anything.
And if you see Litho Breaker, just pretend you don't know each other.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's a good lesson in life.
You have to flash your ship lights. I think there's a code. And everybody that laughed at that knows too much.
Oh, talking of bangers, somebody's letting fireworks off in our street.
Oh, how exciting.
Wait until tomorrow. It's going to get worse.
Yeah. Banging all over the place.
I
I
feel
may have to
sorry
get
for
a
the
dog,
pets.
so I was going to have to get a dog so it could be properly scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think what you do is you get a Momus Bog Spaniel and let it out on the night because that'll just bite everybody.
Quack at everyone.
It'll quack at them,
Yes,
yeah.
the poor bastard grabs hold of a rocket as it takes off.
I mean, there is a video on YouTube with a dog with a firework in its mouth running around. Somebody lights it, and then the dog runs up, grabs it, and runs around.
Ouch!
Ow.
Ow.
Very, very funny.
That sounds like it would end badly.
There'll be death threats now for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
The dog.
See,
does it end safely? Did the dog run away at the end?
I don't remember how it ends.
Oh, no.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, God. You had one job to do.
Let's pretend it's fine.
It's not a tight 10. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Yeah. No, let's just say the dog gets bold and drops it. Yeah, exactly. I could have put it better myself. Did he say aardfart backwards?
No, that was Fantium with his mics
I
alive.
said aardfart.
Could be. So maybe that's. Let's listen.
I told you, aardvark. I heard aardvark is the devil.
Just for you, I'm watching the firework and the dog.
Oh, okay. You do know you can skip through it. You can. I was going to say fast forward, but you get to the end of the tape.
It's running around.
Make sure you rewind it afterwards. Or just turn it over and watch the other side.
Yeah. I just sat and last night chicks laughing, and then it would just go, oh.
I've just posted it in the Twitch chat so everyone can have a chuckle.
Is the dog okay?
It
Little
seems
Breaker
fine.
says the dog is okay.
Yeah,
it is at the end. Yeah, it is. Yes.
That's okay. Then I might watch it.
It's quite funny.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I
No,
wonder
that's
what
good.
that noise was. It's my fleet carrier jumping.
I love a euphemism.
Yeah. Yeah, almost there.
You get that big long honk at the beginning.
You had no idea how many duck quacks I had to listen to.
Ugh.
I could tell at the end, I'm going, that's an angry duck quack, I'll have that. And that's...
It's a really big, angry duck with lots of fur.
There was a big angry quack in one of them. It was like, whack! And you're like, okay, I'm backing off.
I can't remember why. I worked in an office years ago, and for some reason, half a dozen of us had these duck calls. I can't for the life of me remember why. And then for months afterwards, anybody who was on the phone, it was a gag in the office to like the duck quacks would be going in the background as they're talking to somebody.
I want that.
The opposite
I'm
of a
getting on
Zoom.
Amazon.
The opposit of a Zoom call. If you're out and about, and you then put a background up to pretend you're actually in your office. It's the reverse of it. Yes.
I'm going on Amazon right now to look for duck quacks.
Still got it somewhere. In a box of crap somewhere. Can't remember for the life of me why we got them.
Duck tea, duck food,
Duck
feather
call.
pillows,
No,
duck
duck
toilet
call.
cleaner, duck feather duvet, duck egg blue duvet sets,
Duck.
duck down pillows,
Or grouse.
duck advent calendar. A duck advent calendar? I'm going to have a look at this.
Right. Well, whilst the apology officer does that, the rest of us will just get on with life. What we call life, shall we? Or apology
This is
for it.
life. This is life. Don't you see it as?
But not as you know it. Yes. Well, I think that was a nice show and only several cock-ups in there.
Seamless.
You have no idea how good this will sound when Norm is actually gone, oh, for fuck's sake, not again, and edited it. But if he can take our... I must admit, I have not yet listened to Norm's editing of last week's show or the week before. I apologise, Norm. Did he manage to make a decent fist of the singing? Because that's bloody difficult.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. It was appalling.
Yeah, properly appalling, or just the appalling
That's
we
my
had.
favourite part of a birthday. Is when we sing the song. It's the best song ever. When we all sing the song.
And sing it really badly.
I tell you what we'll do. Secret. What for somebody's birthday? What we should do is get
It's
everybody.
Sky's birthday today. Sky Woolcock's birthday.
It's too late for that. It's too late for that. I was going to
No.
say we should record it all, send it in, and then we'll edit it together and actually make a decent one, and then play it as a surprise. That'll surprise everyone. No, all right.
I don't
You mean with backing music and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Hot Chicks is on the move.
You're bad off of that website now, aren't you?
Okay, boys and girls, I think we've annoyed the listener long enough.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to make Chicks' ears bleed.
Oh, God.
Quickly, because Vantian's back and he might come and join in. Let's great.
Oh, God,
Let's
no.
go.
Move on.
Okay, and thank you, everybody. Thanks to the crew. Join us again, same space time, same space channel, and all that stuff next week. And it just remains for Amelia and et al. To say...
For the mug!
For the mug.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grace. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a launch pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. North Part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very sorry, but that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.